this training is on preparing for the next chapter. I talked to lots of CPA firm owners, and we are all aging, myself included. I'm 58. And, there are folks that are in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. And there's always, we are kind of in that next chapter where we may be, we're older, we're older than 40 years old, or we're older than 50 years old, and we're thinking about the next 10 years or so. And I want to share a couple of things that are really important when it comes to preparing for the next chapter. And two things in particular. One is we've been in the profession for so long. It could be 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. And when you're in a profession and you're doing something for so long, then inevitably there's going to be burnout, right? If you're doing the same thing for so many years, it's like, man, I'm so tired of this. I'm so bored of this. I've been doing the same thing for all these years. And I want to share with you some tricks and tips to stop that burnout, to stop that monotony. And then the second thing is, as we're kind of looking at the next chapter, we may be thinking about, retiring or exiting out or semi-retiring. And in the process, so what I want to also share with you is how to create a sellable asset. Yeah. What are the things you need to do to create a sellable asset? Interestingly enough, these 2 points are very connected. They're very interconnected. What you're going to do to stop this burnout is also going to help you to create a more valuable and a more sellable asset, right? So burnout and monotony, let's start there. As we go into tax season, this is even a topic, and that's the reason I chose this topic in the month of January, when most accounting firms are going into a very busy time. So what is burnout? And tax season, you start off the year and you go through those first 4 or 5 months in a way that leads to even more burnout. So burnout is a state of physical, emotional, and mental exhaustion caused by prolonged stress, especially common in overachievers. And so when we start our practice, we are like the 5%, the entrepreneurs who wants to do something other than working in corporate America or working in another accounting firm. We're very ambitious, right? Entrepreneurial. We start our own firm. So this is going to speak to people who are high achievers. So burnout is a state of physical, emotional, and mental exhaustion. It is often the result of too much energy output and not enough fuel to keep going. This can lead to great suffering and a feeling of being stuck in a never-ending cycle of stress and exhaustion. I think as practitioners, there's nothing worse than going through this process. And as we age, this is the last memories that we're going to have of our career is, man, it was a long, difficult journey. It was a journey of a lot of hours, a lot of stress. And it affects us, both in our enjoyment, in our practice, and it affects us as a human being. It affects our health. It affects how we show up with our families and our friends, right? And there's a lot of it, especially in our profession, in the accounting industry. There's a lot of it because our work comes, during tax season, there is a ton of work. People are working 60, 70, 80, 90-hour weeks. And you do this over year after year after year after year after year, and you've got burnout that's setting in, and it's getting more because your energy is going to be depleting. As we age, the energy is going to deplete. That's just how life is, right? And then we still have to put so many hours and take care of so many things. It's what burnout is. What causes burnout in a CPA firm for the owner? doing the same work every day, right? Same things every day. Lots of fires, lots of work. Yeah, there's work that never ends. Unappreciative clients, so there's no you're doing the work where you've got the receiving, the person on the receiving end doesn't appreciate it, or you've got difficult team to work with, unreliable. They don't do it right the first time. You got to clean up their messes. You got to babysit them and all that. Stagnant growth. You've got this practice for a long time and it's not growing much. It's about where it was 3 years or 5 years back. So stagnant growth, low profit, low cash flow, declining energy, and then poor work-life balance, right? And I just kind of put some of the reasons, probably the main ones of what causes burnout for the CPA firm owner. Yeah. And here's what I want to share, and I call it the modified role, right? We got to get out of the hamster wheel, and we got to get out of doing what we have always been doing for so long. If we don't elevate our role, then it's just going to be boredom. Yeah, we can do these tax returns, we can do the accounting stuff, handling tax notices, what have you, with our eyes shut. And so the new role, the modified role of the CEO is three things: grow the firm with the right clients, build the right team and the right systems, and then do the technical, and then still do the technical work, but the higher end technical work, right? And number two is reducing time spent on the technical work and the day-to-day administration. So elevate your role from taking care of the day-to-day as quickly as possible. Get out of the day-to-day, doing the work, being the operator, and get into the role of being the CEO, growing the firm with the right clients, building the right team and systems, and then still being involved in the technical work, because CPAs, they enjoy that. They're good at it. But what I'm saying is make sure you're doing the higher level work that requires somebody like yourself, somebody with your expertise, with your experience. All right, so getting into the nitty-gritties, and I'm going to spend some time here talking about each one of these. I'll give you some practical tips, tools, techniques, strategies for each one, best practices. Reduce time spent on technical and administrative work. I would, if it is me, what I would do is I would block time on the calendar, and I would assign and allocate time that you're going to be doing the technical and administrative work in the day. So I just block that time out on my calendar to do that, so that the rest of the time I'm not gonna bother with it. I'm not going to be thinking about doing the technical work, right? So the best way to reduce time spent on that is to block it on the calendar, and using those time blocks as your time to get that work done. Second is start becoming clear of what are the things that you want that somebody else can do. Create a job description, create a role and responsibilities of things that you shouldn't be doing, right? And that becomes the job description of your new hire, right? So hire people. These days, hiring globally, I think there's just so much talent in the world. right? I'm not talking about the US. It's going beyond the United States, where you've got so much talent, where there's no shortage of talent. You can get very inexpensive help from anywhere in the world. These are, smart people that are willing to work because of the economics in their country, that they can work for $8 an hour, $10 an hour, $12 an hour, $15 an hour. And you can find and get that type of help, and you can bring them in a part-time role. You can bring them in for 15 hours a week, 20 hours a week. It doesn't have to start as a full-time gig, right? So hiring, I would be prolific about not doing things that you shouldn't be doing, right? Technical stuff, administrative stuff, things that are taking time that you don't want to be bothered. You shouldn't be bothered. You're bothered, but you shouldn't be, because there's an opportunity cost, right? You are understanding the concept as a practitioner, as a CEO, of what it's costing to do that. And for me, I mean, that was such an important mindset shift, is the lack of tolerance. I became very intolerant with myself when I was doing those things, and I become very impatient and upset when I was doing stuff that we shouldn't be doing, right? And I was always looking for those opportunities, or what am I doing that I shouldn't be doing? Let me get it out of my plate. So hiring and delegating, right? And then we get into value billing, profitable clients. We want to have clients that are profitable. I think that's the low-hanging fruit for most firms, is becoming aware of the value that you bring to the clients, your existing clients, not even new clients, but to your existing clients. They want somebody like yourself who can help them with their financials, their tax return, but who is also their business coach, whatever word you use, whatever title you use, right? Business coach, advisor, CFO, doesn't matter. The important thing is that your client trusts you to be able to help them get your help in helping them with the compliance stuff, helping them make their business more profitable and to grow their business, right? And if you show up with your clients, then you would not hesitate to charge them the fees that you should be charging them, right? So value billing is where you're going to find tens of thousands of dollars within your existing client base. And that number starts at tens of thousands of dollars. It can be $50,000, $75,000, $100,000, just from your existing clients. And that more than pays off to get any outside help, whether it's part-time, full-time, for any of the things that you're doing, right? Because that's what you're going to be allocating the time you're spending away doing the technical stuff, administrative stuff you shouldn't be doing. Allocate some of that time to servicing the clients, meeting with your clients through the year, right? And that's where it becomes profitable clients that are typically paying 5,000 can be paying 50% more. They should be paying 7,500 or 10,000, because you're meeting with them regularly. You're talking about their financial statements. You're asking them questions. What's going on in their business? What help do they need? What are their challenges? What's keeping them up at night? What is their vision? What are their dreams? And I feel every CPA can bring that value, right? That's 4. Number 5, marketing and sales. We want to have that engine that system, that process in place where people are seeking you out, where there is a line of people who wants to do business with you. Like outside your office, outside your virtual office, there's this long line of prospects that wants to work with you. They want somebody like you. They're like, they've raised their hand and say, I really like what you're doing. I like your, uh, I want to learn more about what you're doing and whether we can work together. That's what you want prospects to be saying, right? And so some of the time that you're spending on doing technical work, administrative work, needs to be channeled to marketing and sales, right? And building that funnel, right? Building that pathway to your firm, where people are like scheduling a call to learn more, to talk about services and so forth. And of course, I mean, with what we have seen the past couple of years, the pandemic has made this like it's 10x'd it, if not more, the the importance of online marketing, right? I've seen that in my own firm, where we used to get networking and going to events and all that played a part. Now it's like online marketing has become a major major importance, of constantly leads coming in and stating what their problems are, scheduling a call, a strategy session, a free consultation, and having such an inflow of leads gives you the power, gives you the confidence also to charge the right fees, to say no to people that are not right. And you got like 20 leads in a month, and you can, you're more confident. Say, no, you're not right for me. Or this is what my fee is. If you're not willing to pay this, because we are going to deliver this value, if you're not going to pay this, then we can work together, right? So it helps. It's very much connected to number 4 as well. Profitable clients, right? You got this constant stream of clients coming in, then that's important. And when it comes to marketing, there's a lot of BS. There's so much BS, so many experts out there that are saying that they know the stuff. So you've got to know enough to be able to say no to them, like work with the people that know their stuff, right? And I'm just giving that as a caution, that there are a ton of people that say they know marketing, but they don't know marketing for an accounting firm. They may have done it in other industries, and even that is questionable of how well they did it. So be careful, because you can end up spending a lot of money in marketing and not get the results, and then get disheartened and say, you know what, this doesn't work. But it does work, right? When it's done right, it does work. So marketing and sales, this is stuff that I would say delegate to somebody who knows it, but don't abdicate it. Like, make sure you're connected, you're learning together, you're overseeing it in a way. And importantly, there's a need to have that in every accounting firm. You need a strong online presence. Website is an important. It starts with a website, and then all the search engine optimization stuff that happens. And the important thing, the thing to know is that once you've got the search engine optimization thing working, you've got your website, it's got all the nuggets that's bringing in people. It's got good content. It's got the right keywords. That is going to be the goose that continues laying the golden eggs for months and years to come, right? So it takes a little time with search engine optimization to build it up. 3 months, 6 months. Get started as soon as possible. Get that moving. And I know, we're working with lots of, folks that are, going to watch this and listen to this. And you see the power of this. In my own firm, I see the power of this, of how nice it is to get this constant stream of leads coming in. So organic search is important. And then secondarily, you got the paid ads, right? Pay-per-clicks. And those can be very powerful as well, right? What I say is start with search engine optimization. It's got a longer runway. Yeah, it's going to be front end work. It's going to be a little slower in the start, but once it kicks in, it's gonna give you the ROI, right? And you know from that search engine, when doing search engine optimization, you know what the keywords are. What are the things that people are, and we have all the Google, and we use Google Analytics to really track which keywords are people are searching for and what pages are they staying on, and that gives us a lot of intelligence to then, when we're creating ads, that we use that knowledge, that intelligence to create the right ads for pay-per-clicks. So number 5 is marketing and sales, modified role, getting some of the time you're spending on technical and administrative work, channeling it to marketing and sales. Team meetings, building the right culture. So it's really not even just team meetings, it's just building the right team and the right culture, right? It's building the right team and the right culture. And meetings is one aspect of it. It's probably one of the more important aspects. It's meeting with your team on a regular basis. It's how you as the owner are showing up for these meetings as the leader, what you're saying. Do you want people to do what they see you doing, or what they see you saying, right? And ideally, you want them to be doing what you're doing, right? For them to follow you're an example in how you're showing up as the leader in your company. So building the right culture becomes important. And the number 7 is systems, systematizing the practice with documented processes, standard operating procedures. I think the tools are out there. The technology is out there. It's available, and you do your own due diligence of which tools you use, but it's out there. It's up to you to, decide which ones you want to work with. But there's no shortage of tools, technology, systems, processes, workflow, technologies to help you make the firm easier to run, easier to work in as an employee, right? That's all part of systematizing the firm. Employees are not struggling. They're not searching for information. It's all there in one place that they can get their hands on. So it brings efficiencies, profitability shoots up, and it reduces stress for the team when you've got those systems in place. So those are 7 things to get into a modified role. Yeah, to get away from the mundane of going to work every day for 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, primarily focused on doing the work and answering questions that the team may ask, or asking questions that the clients may ask. So I want you to imagine that role, right? What that role is. And I'm saying and suggesting to change this role into a modified role that reduces the amount of time being spent on technical work, delegating some of that to your existing team, to a new hire. Having conversations with clients that are more meaningful for the client. Most conversations that are more meaningful for the client are going to revolve around a few things: higher revenues, higher profits, better cash flow, uh, work-life balance for them, creating a sellable asset, right? These are the conversations, these are the things that your clients, they're craving for, most clients. And so have those conversations. Get the marketing engine working in your firm, where you got this consistent stream of folks that would want to consider working with you. Use some of that time in this new role to build a team and the right culture. Meet with them, and show up as a leader, and then building systems. To building a systematized practice, and doing this does two things. Number one, you enjoy the journey. The next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years can be enjoyable despite the fact that we've been doing it for so many years.